Okay, welcome to part 3. So here we'll be covering Yahar'gul, which will involve Yahar'gul Skip, Reborn. We'll do Menses with Micolash and Wet Nurse. Now for this part, I do just a touch of stamina management, like right here. Just let go of circle for just a split second, and then I run to the right, and I have my chest piece already stripped off. And then we'll go here. You sort of hug the right side, kind of hit this statue, and if you like spam X as you run off, you can kind of get like a animation cancel drop like you do at the beginning with the vials by the ladder in your Central Yarnum. Okay, so actual Yahar'gul Skip is one of the most... Oh god. I don't know, I just don't like skips in this game, I guess. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm going to try and do the fast version of this to demonstrate. So I have my chest piece off, which just makes it easier to see my character model. So I'm gonna run up here, actually kind of shoot in front of this guy, kind of aggro him, and then I'm gonna like start walking as far as I can. It's like you sprint up there as fast as you can get to it, but once you get kind of close, you don't just let go of sprint. I kind of like let go of sprint and I slow walk once I get kind of close to it. And once I slow walk, you have like a little pushback that happens when you get up next to it. And at that, once you hit that point, you queue up the R2 and you charge attack straight into the fence. And it usually puts you through it. It's not perfectly consistent for me, but that's the best luck I've had with setups. When you land here, you're going to be spamming circle. You're not going to want to land like this. You're going to be spamming circle and basically land on this part and then continue spamming. Like, you're never going to want to stop like this and continue spamming circle just all the way down. And then once you hit this part, if I like to get on this carriage and then fall about here, because you don't get a hard fall. And then this part, you want to sort of aggro and then move to the left side to pick this up, to aggro him, or to flip him to his left, aggro that dude to the left as well, pick these up. And the reason that he was able to catch me there is because whenever I aggroed him, I actually stopped moving. I wasn't continuing through. So you want to, like, the way I do it is you aggro him from the carriage and then you go to his left side once it's safe, bait him to flip around counterclockwise, and then you go and do the rest of it. And if you do it fluidly, there's like no danger involved at all. So that was sort of the whole process of that part of the level. But let's reload it again, and I'm going to focus more on Yahar'gul Skip now. But yeah, that normally wouldn't happen with the way I died there, because I would be moving fast enough to where it's not an issue. So I like to take this off. Go ahead and put on your cold blood. You're going to need that after you do the one Reborn fight. Let go of circle for just a split second here. I like to run to the right. It should carry you just about perfect to get to the lamp. Continue holding circle. Sort of hug this right side. Hit this statue. Well, I actually missed it, so no animation cancel there. Okay, now I'm gonna actually kill these guys for this part, just so I can show this a little bit easier. Okay, so pretend we're like running from up here, and we go to the left, and we get up to this part, and I'd like kind of slow walk, and once I hit this part, the slow walk, see how I'm gonna go backwards to prevent that from happening, but you see how it kind of like pushes our character backwards just a little bit here? You see how there's like resistance? So I'm like running up here, and then once I get here, I kind of like slow down, and then you kind of want to, after you've slowed down and you had that little bit of resistance, then you queue up the R2. And like I said, it's not perfectly consistent for me, but this is the one I've had some of the better luck with. I've also worked on a couple other ones where I like move into there's like a little post to the left I kind of angle towards, and then I do the same thing. I like re-angle my character straight into the in the fence. So we go here, grab this. Our echoes should be in a good spot here. Bait him. And you see how we kind of like slowed down. And then we just continue rolling all the way. Go here so I don't get the hard fall. Bait him. Go fast. Keep sprinting. Bait this guy to the left. Grab this. Grab that. And we're see how far away he is? Like it's no issue at all. Okay, anyway, so reload. We'll do the whole thing again. But yeah, Yahar'gul Skip is it's kind of like sewer skip in the sense like if you don't make it through the fence, you can retry again and you just lose a bit of time. So but if you go through the fence and you mess it up and you just fall to your death, then you're gonna lose a lot of time, probably like 25-30 seconds having to wait to respawn and then running all the way back through. So let's try this again from the top. So I like to take off my chest. Again, make sure you're full sprinting before you do menuing. Otherwise you're losing a lot of time. And then once we go down here, lightly stamina manage, just let go for just a split second. Go down this way, run to the right. Should last you just to the lamp. That. Grab this chunk. Spam X for the quick grab. And I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna kill these guys this time to be able to show the other version, because like if you kind of run this way and then you bump into this like line up with this post, this column here, but do it like a slightly faster pace, you can kind of realign your character after you bump into it and then go straight sort of flush with the fence and try it that way as well, which I like to do. That one seems more consistent to me. The only issue I found is you tend to get you tend to clip through the fence only enough to where you're still on the ledge of it, so you have to quit out, which is a little bit, it's kind of like comparing sewer skip, like no quit to quit out version. It's pretty much the same thing, because when you come back in, all you do is just, you can do one of two gestures to fall off. You can gesture with the bow to fall off if you got a good angle, or you can flip around backwards, face towards the camera, and do a sit down gesture flush with the fence, and you'll fall off perfectly, which I think is the safer version. Okay, so I'm gonna unequip with this. Do light stamina management. But I'll kill him again just to show the show that version I just tested with, and then I'll finally show the setup version as well with transforming your weapon and backstepping and whatnot, which is, it's nice and comfy, but also you have to pretty much kill these guys to be able to do it, which you don't want to do. If you go for the skip and you miss it and you have to kill these guys, it takes about 15 extra seconds. So this is the other version. So we're gonna run up at a, so like normally you'd like slow down like this with the normal version and then immediately R2, but I'm gonna kind of go at a faster pace, bump into that, and then go straight like so. And then roll this direction, go this way to not get a hard fall. All right, now we'll go back real quick and I'm gonna show the setup version. And that'll be it with the Yahar'gul Skip. This is like kind of like Shadows Freeze. This one's pretty easy to practice because especially if you come here late game. If you come here after like one Reborn and stuff are dead, you don't have any mobs to worry about, so you can just practice it over and over and over, which is really nice. But even like this, if you want to load up a save file, you can actually just use your hunter mark over and over. So you can like run through, do the fast version without killing the mobs, and just after you get the skip, hunter mark out. Or if they kill you, either way, you're gonna just keep spawning back at the actual lamp. So. Okay. So a little bit of stamina management. This will be the last time, and then we'll continue the run. So one Reborn. So pick up this chunk. You can actually shoot to aggro this guy too if you want. I'm gonna kill him though for the sake of showing the setup version. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See how long it takes though to kill them all? Okay, so what you want to do here, have your weapon transformed, get up flush with this fence. Make sure you don't run through it. You can actually sprint through this fence. So get up flush and kind of, you like backstep into a transform attack and immediately queue up an R2, and it puts you right through the fence. The hard part about that is making sure you're not facing the wrong angle. You want to be pretty much facing straight into the fence. You don't want to be too angled. If you're angled, it could still work, but it can like fuck up a lot easier that way. Okay, so while we're running here, we want to re-equip our chest piece. We want to put our bolt paper back on, transform your weapon, heal when your stamina is at 0, and then swap to your bolt paper. Now here is where we're going to pick up, I think you only need 1, honestly, but we're going to go ahead and pick up 2. And we have an extra insight from Gascoigne. So we're going to have extra insight by the time we need it. I go up to about here, heal up, bait him left, and then swing right. A lot of people sort of dash into him. I probably need to talk about these guys, but I'm just gonna actually make a save file for One Reborn. Running through there, if you run through and you I took kind of a peachy path, but when you're running away from them, as long as you're running at a very slight angle, they're almost never going to hit you unless like you're like pivoting at the same moment that they're shooting. But if you don't stamina manage at all and you pick up 2 madmans and then you stamina manage just about half before you actually pick up the gem, you should be able to pop your bolt paper before you exit the hallway, and then just run kind of a slight zigzag all the way to One Reborn. And I could have made a save file. I don't want to waste the time like showing that. I would say for that part, just watch a top end speedrun just to see the general pathing there, or just figure out something. I don't want to waste a lot of time with something like that. I'd rather spend time on skips and actual boss fights. And One Reborn in this route is a little bit worse. Kind of like Rom is. Like Rom, One Reborn, Miko, and Wet Nurse are all a little bit worse because you have one less gem, mostly. So normally you would have popped your bolt paper way back there, and then once you get up to about here, this is where you'd probably pop your Beast Blood pellet. After you pop your pellet, like always hold down sprint. Okay, so there's a line in these bricks here. I'm gonna trace with like the top of my hat. So like you can see this kind of root thing coming out, like that one going this way, and then there's one up top going there. So like kind of the split the difference of those, and these bricks right here, this line I'm tracing with my hat is roughly where you want to pop your, or you want to trick your weapon for the cutscene transition. So we'd already have our bolt paper popped, right? And then we turn this corner and we pop our pellet, and as soon as we get about halfway up, we go and transform our weapon. And you want to immediately skip this cutscene. Okay, for the opener, you want to get up to One Reborn, like take the path of the quickest path slash path of least resistance. And then you want to do an R1, L1, L1 to get a stagger on his body and to build up beast meter. And then you're going to go to the front of the fight, and you're gonna kind of want to hit his head and leg at the same time with R1 3 L1s, and then at that point you pretty much want to just do R1 spam. So let's go ahead and try it. I'll do this fight a few times, but take this general path here, go to the left of that leg, get about, make sure you have like around half stamina, get to his body about there, do R1 L and L1, and then this third attack kind of aim down a little bit to hit his leg and his head at the same time, then go up to him, do R1s, and I got greedy there. Actually wasn't that bad. I was just playing too aggressive. I could have peached out and pulled back and healed. But that's the general opener you want. You just, if he gives a lot of bad fireballs and corpse drops, you're gonna have to sort of respond to it. But the opener was actually really solid. It's just we kind of got fucked over. Yeah, so R1 L1 L1 and then R1 3 L1s at the front and kind of tag his leg with that third attack. And then you just like kind of aim down and hit his head and his leg at the same time. So we'd round this corner, pop trick weapon about here. Also try and swap to your cold blood as soon as you can, like I have right now. That way after the fight you can pop it ASAP. Walk up here, don't actually sprint up to the front, by the way. If he decides to fireball you like that and you might not have a chance to L1, just do an R1 finish instead. I'm gonna go ahead and heal up once, and then walk about here. You want to kind of get like double hits at this point. Like you're kind of like hitting his head and you're hitting his arm at the same time there. So while you're waiting for the fog gate, you already have your cold blood selected, and then you pop that as soon as you can while you're waiting for the fog gate to open. So we're gonna do that fight a couple more times. But yeah, if you can see the fireball coming at you, and it's gonna, cause like if something hits you while you're trying to do an L1 transform attack, it's gonna interrupt it, and then you're gonna hit L1, and all it's gonna do is transform your weapon, and you're not gonna do any damage. So if you plan for that, you can actually just do R1 in its place. It's a lot easier to recover from that. My throat is dry. Okay, so you already have your bolt paper pop from before. I'll go ahead and swap to the cold blood. Trick it. Okay, and then you don't have to run to the left side of this leg here, but it's just seems a little bit faster. And you should have about half stamina for that opener anyway. And then yeah, don't sprint here. See how this is coming? I'm gonna do an R1 here instead of a transform attack, because that was gonna interrupt me. And then go about here, look down. This is really bad RNG for fireballs. You can walk down his body. I'm gonna heal up. Hit his body in here. Okay, so right where I am right now, take a picture of that, because, or just keep it in your head. Right where I was, kind of behind his sort of torso, I guess, and then his leg was like right here behind me, is a safe spot to where you don't actually get hit by the explosion that he just did. And since you've already staggered his body takes more damage as well. Because you could alternatively, you could go to his back left leg and start waylaying on that, but you're going to do less damage unless it's already broken, which it won't be. So just keep that in mind. If you want to do it optimally, like if you get really bad RNG up in front of his face, you're going to have to like move down his body. While you're moving down his body, you can like hit him with an R1 and then keep walking all the way to the back to the safe spot where we were. We already have bolt paper popped. Pop the pellet. Transform weapon. Have our cold blood selected. Kind of go to the left of this leg. Make sure stamina is roughly half by the time you do the combo. Walk up to the front and immediately start the combo. R1, L1. Aim the third one down a little bit. Then go back to his face. The reason I'm moving around so much in between attacks is is because of I'm trying to sort of move around all the bullshit on the screen. See, that was actually a pretty good fight. It's not too horrible with the fireballs and corpse drops. That's all I'm gonna show on that fight. Showed like, I don't know, 5 or 6 attempts or something. It's sometimes like if you're fully committed to the speed strat, then sometimes you're just simply gonna die because he's gonna rain down corpse drops and fireballs that are completely bullshit. This is the first area in the game where you can actually start moving before the screen loads in. So when you're transitioning from Yahar'gul to this point, already have sprint and up left, not extreme up left, maybe like a 25-30 degree angle up left held, so you're going this direction essentially. So when you load in, like you're already up this direction, and then start spamming X at the same time. So like the load screen's happening and we're already like moving this direction. I just accidentally let go circle, but then you'll be able to tag this lamp on the way through. I'll show it again up here. This is actually another point. You can do it here where we just loaded in. You can do it in the next load, and you can do it going to Nightmare Frontier. There might be some other ones, but this is also an area where you want to stamina manage a little bit. Basically let my, okay, so you can hold down circle here and hold forward to start running early, like I was saying. You can see, like, you can actually hear the character moving already. Also back there in the lecture hall, I stamina manage once, so I get my stamina bar to about the right side of the vial box. And then I let it stamina manage up halfway through the item box, if that makes sense. And that usually gets me to the door just about right. And then here you don't stamina manage at all. You just run a nice line, and then on the second end of the second stamina bar ending, you jump at the end of it, and then just quit out like we just did. And then when you spawn in, go ahead and lock onto this guy. You can do like a running R1 and then just do 3 mollies. And once you're throwing the 3rd molly, go ahead and start holding down circle again. Getting your character ready to sprint. Just hug this right side. And go back to the dream. And we're gonna level up for our 2nd time. Alright, if everything's gone okay and you haven't like died and lost echoes or something weird, you're gonna have enough to get 28 strength and 25 skill. And then your insight should be at 16 here if everything's gone normally, but we messed up the warp at ROM on our last attempt. So we actually got an extra insight point, which is not a problem. We can use that later. But don't bank on it happening. Bank on only having 16, which you need all 16 to buy 8 twin shards. So when you load in here, run up to her, just do a regular R1 into an L1. While she's dying, pick up the Eye of a Bloodrock Hunter, which is the DLC item. Come back to her, go 3 points into strength, and then just dump everything into skill. You should have roughly this many echoes left. I have like 5,700. Now we're gonna go up here. Even with 17 insight, we can still only buy 8. So go over 1, go down once. When you hit X, hit down once, and you can just automatically get to the maximum number you can afford. Alternatively, you wouldn't have to hit up like that and just hold it down. So you have 2 options here to do it quickly. You can X down X, or you can even do X R2 X, either one. R2 goes up in increments of 10, but we can't go up in increments of 10 because we don't have enough to buy 8. So either way, so you load up here, purchase item, go right, down, X, down, X. After you buy those, you'll have enough materials to get to a +8. 1, 2, 3, and then go down twice, X, 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 and then get out of here. And like I was saying at the last gravestone we used, or the first gravestone we used, you want to get used to hitting up most of the time. So get here, hit up once. We're going to Mensis. This part is, I would say, pretty crucial to run as straight as you can while not hitting anything. So you kind of want to take this general line. If you do it well, you shouldn't have to worry about this mob on the right. They're pancaking you. I like if you kind of hug the right side of this sort of the rock here. A lot of times it'll discourage him from chasing you. Here comes a little bit of stamina management. So once we get almost to the bottom, I want to stamina manage to a little less than half. So I did too much stamina management there. You can sometimes get hecked over here and just get one shot without being able to do anything about it. This part, I kind of run a little to the right. I don't let go of stamina at all. Watch out for that spider. If he does a jump attack early, you kind of need to do this weird like whip to the right thing. Also, try and aggro this guy without sprinting about right this area, roughly, and then start sprinting again. A lot of times that'll discourage that very attack he just did. If you're not being chased by the golem, you can actually just not let go of stamina at all, and it actually works out perfectly. Now, this is a decision you have to make. You can go left here and get these 2 elixirs, which I like to do, or you can skip them. Because really you only need, if you're going full tryhard route, you only need the 4 that you picked up in the Forbidden Woods. You can also run left back there past that first big boy. Alright, we're definitely gonna make a save file for Miko though. I'm just gonna quit out right up here. And Miko is not too bad. He's a little bit worse than normal. Just because you don't have the extra gem that you'd have from Amelia, or after Amelia by Alfred. But he's still not that bad. I mean, he's still Miko. It's like puppet RNG and just a bunch of stuff can happen, but he hasn't gotten much worse with this route, so we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna actually kill the puppets so I can show the lineup for the gun strat. Regardless of what RNG you get, like you can get Swedish Murica or the third one. Oh shit, almost canceled that. It doesn't matter. Like you can always do the gun strat. But I'll go more into that when I kill the puppets, just to show you. I think the gun strat saves about 8-ish seconds if done well. And bullets are gonna feel really tight in this run, but you actually only need to pick up the 10 after cleric, which is completely free. You have to wait on the death and the lamp to spawn anyway. So you have that option. You have the option to pick up the bullets here. Okay, so this little elevated brick right at the, like, my hat's like right in the middle of it right now. I'm gonna kill this puppet real fast. Okay, anyway. So this like elevated brick, I'm tracing the bottom of that right now. That's about where I want to trick my weapon at. So we're gonna run up here and about right there. See how just past it? That's where the transition is. And just keep on sprinting. These are the bullets. There's like 6 you can pick up if you want. Not really necessary. And just keep chasing them. So we have the worst RNG possible. Flip out round about right here. Go for the puppets. Now I'm gonna actually kill this puppet here just to show the lineup for this gun strat. Okay, so there's some growth here. You can, or the little spiders. You see the little spider things there, and there, and then there's like a little tiny one there. That's about, I think it's there. Yeah, that's it. Maybe it's this one actually. It's weird slowing down. Maybe it's this one. Sorry, I think it's these. This little patch here of these little spider looking things. So you want to like lock onto him, and once you get about there, you want to shoot, dash with the lock on. Kill this puppet. I would have already popped my pellet. I got distracted with the thing though. So you can like R1, L1 that puppet down. And depending on the RNG here, you want to do some R1, L1 combos to build up your meter. I want to show that again though real fast. Sorry, it was really weird. It's weird to like slow down and like kind of stop and try and remember where the trigger is, but it was the first little patch of spider stuff that we were looking for. And if you're dead sprinting, you can like, as soon as you hit that general spot, you have the lock on already done and you shoot, dash, shoot, dash, shoot. You want to get 3 shots into him to aggro him back to you. And while he's walking back to you, that's when you deal with the main puppet there next to him. So yeah, I normally wouldn't kill that first puppet. I just had to do it to show the lineup. I'm going to do it faster this time. We're just going to go for it. So about the transition right about the brick. See where it transitioned there? Just sprint all the way up. So no Swedish. No Maruka. So we got the worst RNG. Flip around about halfway up. Down this way. You actually want to pop your pellet here, usually. Lock onto him. Shoot him right by the little spiders there. Triple shot. We might have an extra puppet here. I didn't mean to transform our weapon like that. Okay. And then you want to be careful with your stamina here, because once you round the corner, you want most of your stamina back once you see this this enemy here. And if you have decent meter, you can R1, L1 like we just did. Transform your weapon to extended here. Pick up these vials, don't let go of sprint. Okay, this part here, let me explain this real fast. That guy right there that just shot at us, you basically, when he's shooting at you, you want to be moving at a kind of a perpendicular angle to him. You don't have to be, it doesn't have to be like a perfectly 90 degrees from where he's shooting or anything. Just relatively close to that. And as long as you're a safe distance away from him and you're just kind of sprinting, that should be fine to be enough to not get hit by that. You'll get a feel for it. It'll make sense what I'm talking about once you do it. Okay, this is my general lineup here. There's a piece of paper at the tip of my hat right here that's kind of protruding out a bit more than the others. You see it? I kind of line up just in front of that, about here, and then line up roughly with where the walls meet right there, that corner. So like there's that wall, and then there's this little part of the door there. So I kind of line up about right there. And then I roll that way, and then once I roll, I plunge, but I aim this way, like towards the room that he's gonna run towards. So when you run up here, go ahead and pop your pellet, get roughly lined up, roll, plunge, roll, lock on, L1, move out a little bit to try and catch him, and then do a combo and kind of steer him towards the inside. 2, 3. And just kind of push him into the corner. Now what's gonna happen here sometimes, or there's multiple things. Sometimes he's gonna get past you because you fucked up the plunge, and if that happens, chase him. Like, okay, there's several things to consider here. If he gets away from you, lock onto him when he's running away and shoot him. If you can, so if you like hit him with the plunge attack and you shoot him twice, sometimes just once, but usually it's 3 hits, he'll tether back to you. So like you do the plunge, you missed it, you're like, oh crap, you lock onto him, boom, boom, twice, and he turns back around. Go about here and wait for him. Just like, you don't want to go too far out because there's a puppet right there. He's inanimate right now because the boss is already dead. But basically, if you cross too far out from like this point over this way, it's going to be enough to aggro this puppet during the fight, which makes it a lot scarier. So yeah, you do the plunge, and then you try and block him here, and while you're waiting, you kind of get, like, it's really weird, because like if you can have your character like out about this far, it's really ideal, or you can kind of get him caught where he's like, you are both side by side almost, and that's like the best spot, because it's easy to push him into the corner like this. While you're out of stamina, you want to kind of be moving to the side a bit, because he's gonna, from this distance, he's either gonna punch you or he's gonna auger you. And if he's punching, it's just awkward. You just gotta deal with it. But if he augers, you're kind of like sidestepping it over and over, which is really nice. So like while you're letting your stamina build, like say we have 0 stamina like this, so you kind of move sideways, get ready for the next thing, and then go for another combo. But like the perfect fight is you catch him just right, you plunge him like so, you do the transform attack like this, and then he's like just to your left here, you're blocking him perfectly, push him into the corner with L1s, so to move to the side, be ready for the auger, and then finish him off with like 3 hits. You can just do some R1s if you want as well. But yeah, just be careful of this sort of threshold here for puppet aggro. But if he does get away from you and you mess up the gunshots, by that time it's too late. You're gonna have to run around, because if he gets away and you just sprint after him, it's fine. You're gonna lose a lot of time. You're not gonna be able to go for the gun strat though. But if you go for the gun strat, you mess it up, you miss, you're gonna have to run this way. I'm gonna do this fight a few more times, by the way, but you're gonna have to run all the way around. This is how you get back to him. If he does get past you and gets locked into that room, you're gonna have to go right here. And you'll still have meter left because you'll pop it before the drop, and then you'll just like fall down on top of him and plunge him. But yeah, let's load up that fight a couple more times. My throat is so dry. Oh my goodness. This wine should help. It's not ready yet. Still smells like Play-Doh. Yeah, this fight is, ugh, it's just annoying. It's definitely not the worst fight, but it's not free by any means. A lot can go wrong. So I'll go through the fight fluidly. So transform here. Skip these bullets. I'm mostly discussing the tryhard route where you skip most things. Let's see what RNG we get this time. So we still got the work. I don't think we've gotten good RNG yet on the opener. Go down this way. Okay, so if the first puppet there that I just ran into is in that awkward spot, you kind of want to wait for the lock on for Miko, like I did. Because if you try and lock on too early with the puppet in front of you, you're gonna get this weird thing where it's gonna probably lock onto the puppet since it's closer. So you gotta keep that in mind. So you wanna like kind of bypass the puppet first, then go for the lock on. But you gotta do it in time to actually get the timing on the actual gun strat. So make sure your weapon's already transformed. Grab these vials. Sort of go, see how I'm like slightly perpendicular? It's like not an extreme angle. It's just a kind of a casual angle. You just have to know the timing of his actual shot. But as long as you're moving perpendicular and you're not like too close to him, it's not gonna be an issue. All right, make sure Miko's aggroed to go into the mirror there. Pop this pellet around this paper. Sort of plunge in this general direction. Roll, lock on, L1, move out a little bit if you can, and you're trying to like push him into the corner here. But did you see how awkward that can get? Like, you see the potential? Because he started meleeing me, and so the puppet actually aggroed there because I was pushed out a little bit at that point. So it's like things can go south really fast in this fight, but generally you're just trying to get him in a corner. You can do this corner or this corner depending. And even if he gets over here, you can try using this corner. But yeah, you just want to play in this safe zone and just abuse him. Just put him in the corner and bully him down with... I mean, you don't even have to use transform attacks necessarily. But we'll do it one more time, at least. Maybe twice. But yeah, you just want to put him in the corner so that way you don't have the possibility of the puppet aggroing or him slipping away from you, because if he gets away from you and he puts too much distance between you and him, then he's gonna start spamming Call Beyond, and that's when it gets really sketchy. I should probably actually show Call Beyond the timing of the dodge. Well, I'll try and bait it. I'll probably just look like a fucking noob and die to it, honestly. But it's like this weird, you like kind of delay your dash a little bit more than you would think and be relatively close to him. I still haven't gotten good RNG on this fight. Okay, so run down here, run past the puppet a little bit, pop your pellet, right at these spiders to my left, dash after the shot, hit him 3 times, R1, R1, L1. Be mindful of that puppet though back there, he could aggro to us. That was like the perfect sort of combo. So we do R1, 3 L1s, R1, 3 L1s again, and then do R1, R1, L1. That's what I found to be like the perfect rotation if the fight goes really well in phase 1. R1, R1, L1 with this guy. Keep your weapon tricked for the plunge. I mean, you could wait and do it when you get close, move perpendicular to that guy. But I like to, my thinking is I like to do things way beforehand and do it in consistently the same spot. That way you don't have to use as much sort of brain power thinking about, oh god, do I need to do this now? Just like try and do things in the same spot every time. It gives you a lot more, a lot less stress so you can focus your brain powers elsewhere. So have your pellet popped here. Get about to the edge of this paper, roll, turn right, plunge, roll, lock on, L1, move out a little bit if you can. Try and push him to this, like, stay unlocked and push him over to the right. And there we go. Oh yeah, I was gonna do the Call Beyond thing. Yeah, sorry. Let me do that. I'm gonna intentionally do a bad fight so we can get Call Beyond spam. I can try and show you how to dodge it. I'm definitely not the best at this. I'll do what I can though. Just like watch, I'm gonna lock onto him and be kind of close to him, and then I'm gonna do a sort of a delayed dash into his body, and that's gonna be my attempt at it. I might fuck it up though. Yeah, we'll do one more shitty fight real quick. Surprisingly, this fight's gone really well. Don't count on being able to do this fight really well 5 times in a row like this. It has little to do with what I'm doing. It's mostly just I'm not getting like bad puppet RNG or anything really. Maybe the save file is like corrupted and he can do nothing but easy stuff. But yeah, we're gonna try and fuck up phase 2. Ooh, America RNG. So while he's running there, I'm gonna pop my pellet about here, lock onto him, mini spider shot, dash, shoot, dash, shoot. One, 2, 3. 1, L1, L1, L1. Okay, he's being awkward. When he's passive, it's like the worst. Okay, we did a little less damage during the transition. It's like pretty much 50% health is when he transitions to phase 2. Sometimes you're able to get like a nice juicy R2 for the transitions. That way when you get to his phase 2, he actually has a lot less health. Because I feel like a lot more can go wrong in phase 2 than phase 1. So I like getting that huge hit off. It's just kind of dangerous sometimes if he decides to be slippery. Or move perpendicular to that shot from a distance. Okay, have your cleaver already extended. So we got second best RNG in phase 1. We have normal RNG in phase 2. So once you round this corner, go ahead and pop your pellet as you're getting set up. and we're gonna do the we're gonna let him get away from us. So I'm gonna intentionally fudge this. I'm gonna run with him over here into the room. Now let's let him call beyond. Wait for him to do it, and then dash about. Yeah, I dashed a little late there. That's what I was saying. I'm not good at the call beyond thing. I figured I'd try and show it though. I'd try and get the timing. It's normally not an issue though if you're doing, like, it can happen to anybody, but most of the time you're not gonna have to deal with it if you're doing the strat, right? So I'll try and show it one more time if I can actually get it. I usually just panic though, even in this instance where I'm essentially just practicing and loading up a save file over and over, I still get like really nervous when I see that ability, and that usually makes me mess it up more than I would normally, I guess. Alright, so whole fight again. Transform weapon at brick. And it doesn't matter here if you like run down the middle or to the right, it's like really doesn't affect what he's gonna do as far as Swedish or America or Mexican RNG. That puppet's in a really good spot. So pop your pellet about heal. Get locked on. Mini spiders to the left. Dash, shoot 3 times. 1, 2. Oh, I messed it. He's gonna be a little further out this time. See how he like backs up with our positioning there because we're not able to like push him up against the wall. Like, he's being super passive right now. And that's what I was talking about. It's like not the hardest fight in the world. He just can be really awkward. But because of how awkward that was, it set us up to do a charged R2 transition, which you can see his health's like majestic. Well below 50%, probably like 42 or something. I don't know. Which will make phase 2 a bit easier. R1, R1, L1. Keep your weapon transforms. Hold sprint. Watch crossbow boy. He actually delayed his shot there, which is really awkward.
Well, some say Cosm.
Okay, see if he gives us Swedish. Nope. Dude, he's hadn't given us Swedish at all today. You want your stamina up to about, I don't know, 80% or so to make this run after that flip around thing, man. Alright, we're gonna follow him into the room again intentionally, so let our stamina build up. Alright, let's try and get a call beyond. And dash. Like right when it's about to shoot out, I would say, is the timing that I can, from what I can tell there. So just already be locked on and now. You see how I'm like almost waiting for it to shoot out? I don't know, I can't really describe it. Let's try it one more time. This is in case shit hits the fan. And go. Okay, let's kill him. That's all I'm gonna show on that. Hopefully that makes sense. I mean, we really fucked up the first time, but I got it like 3 or 4 times in a row there, so I know how to do it. I just gotta be ready for it. If he gets into this room and you have to run all the way around and plunge attack him from the other side, you lose about 40 seconds. If you chase him into the room, you don't lose near that much time, but you still lose a lot. So yeah, ideally you want to plunge him and trap him in that first turn. After he dies, you want to run to the right over here and grab this chunk. Get your stamina almost to full, and you can make this run all the way to the lamp here. Need about 80% of your stamina bar. And that's Miko. Showed pretty much everything I can on that. Okay, so after this, you're gonna run over here. Don't let go of circle yet. Get these 2 chunks. When your stamina is almost out, you want to stamina manage just a touch. Just let go of it for just a split second, and you can make this like almost perfectly. Make sure your bold hunter mark's equipped here. Swap to it. Get to the edge of this elevator and kind of like watch my feet. As soon as I see the big open hole there, you can either start sprinting, like then hit circle and start running out like that, or you can just roll out of it. I would just this is just one of those little things. It's not that bad. You have a pretty good window here to, you know, get out of the elevator, but I've had it happen to me a lot, especially when I was learning the run, and I've seen it happen to a lot of people where they completely miss this and you lose a shit ton of time when you shouldn't ever. It's just not difficult enough to justify ever losing time to. So have your bold hunter mark selected. These are going to be all out of position since we were waiting there at the elevator so long. But let's see what kind of RNG we get here. Actually pretty bad RNG. Let's see if we can slip by though. And we're going to mark out like that. That was pretty much worst case scenario. What you want to happen there is I'm not gonna load up a save file for the winter lanterns. You're just grabbing a gem there. What you want to happen though is the first or the middle winter lantern before the gem. You want her to be kind of like more, or you want her to be closer to you, and you want to run straight for the gem. And as soon as you pick up the gem, you kind of go into that little dip there, and you just mark out immediately. And then usually the back one doesn't have time to actually fuck with you. That's really nerve-wracking to do, and if you want to be safe, you can do what I did and go back to that back spot, or you can go over to the right side. And those are one of those things, like I said, I'm not going to load up a save file to show different variations of Winter Lantern RNG, but we're mostly focused on boss fights and skips here. Alright, pop your elixir about here. Once you're, like, you want to pop pellets and elixirs and everything at the end of your stamina bar. It's like the most optimal way to do it. And then here, don't even let go of circle. You can do this part without an elixir. I would highly suggest not doing it. It's pretty scary. Yeah, you're pretty safe to just run through here without letting go. Go ahead and transform your weapon and have your belt paper ready. And you can actually jump right here at the middle of the stairs if your stamina runs out. And you want to pop your belt paper while you're on the elevator if you want to do this optimally. And then you swap to your pellet and get ready for the actual fight. I'm gonna make a save file for her though. Wet Nurse is, oh my goodness. She's one of the easiest bosses, but she, like, you have to be equipped and ready. Like, you need to learn how to cancel her nightmare phase, which I'm gonna show you. And you need to be mindful that she can do like a fast forward speed with some of her attacks. And she can also give you like bad openers when you transition into the fight. And then she can waste a lot of time by teleporting across the map. She can sort of iframe your staggers with, depending on how she's moving. Like if she's like sliding across the level at the same time you're supposed to get a stagger, sometimes like she won't get the stagger, and then you won't have that to rely on. Like, cause you can either iframe her nightmare phase and cancel it, or you can stagger her model out of the animation and interrupt it. So if she's iframing your staggers, it's actually really unfortunate if she, you know, it's because of that she like isn't going to be able to stagger for a nightmare phase. But for the nightmare phase, she sprays out a mist, and like right when I see the mist, I wait like a split second. I don't do it as soon as I see it. I wait like a split second, and then I have her already locked onto, and I dash right twice. It doesn't matter which direction you dash. You can actually dash like backwards, forward, whatever. But you just dash twice, like right after she actually does the mist out towards you. But I like to pop bolt paper on the elevator, pop the pellet about where I did, and then do the trick or transformation of the weapon for the cutscene about where I did. Get behind her. You want to do transform attacks early on her. There's that dirty triple swipe I'm talking about. And then once you've done a lot of transform attacks to build up your meter, you're good to R1 spammer. Yeah, pretty much just stay behind her for the most part, and just be aware of her dirty for dirty attacks. I like to get back a little bit here, kind of scope out the whole arena. Alright, she should go for a nightmare phase soon. Okay, I'm gonna stop attacking her. Okay, so if she does a nightmare phase, I can show you about the timing of the cancel. I'm just gonna wait for a bit. That attack's pretty scary, actually. I don't see that too often. You never want to be in front of her like this. Fucking triple swipe, man. That is the scariest thing she does, I swear. I'm waiting for the nightmare phase. Come on. Really? If this is a real run, she would have done it like twice already. Any day now. Come on. Like, I think this boss is kind of lame, but she does look fucking badass. Can I teleport? Okay, we need a nightmare phase now. She's just not gonna do it, is she? Okay, here we go. Lock onto her. You saw I waited? Oh no, I actually did it too late. Crap. I wasn't ready for that. I was kind of far away and I tried to lock onto her twice. And when I tried to lock on, it flipped my character around. You know how R3 does rotate your camera to where you're facing or a lock on? It did the not lock on twice. Damn it. I wasn't ready for that. I like to be closer to her than I was. But because I kept flipping around, I couldn't get in the right spot. Fuck, man. That's so annoying. Yeah, do a bunch of L1s. Get that meter up. Once your meter's up, just R1 spammer. Try and get behind her. You can lock onto this boss if you want. I think it's a lot easier to not, though. There's that dirty backslash. It's probably the best RNG I've gotten in a while, though. Okay, lock on. Okay, there we go. See how I like waited for it to come out a little bit? And then I dashed, and I was actually closer to her that time? That's what you want. We'll do it again though. I'm not gonna blame the shitty controls for the last one I messed up, but I mean, I did not want my character to flip twice before I locked onto her. It kind of threw me off, if I'm completely honest. But after this fight, I'm gonna keep streaming and I'm gonna do more of the tutorial, but I'm gonna stop the recording and I can actually acknowledge chat now. After that, I just didn't want to do any chatting while I was doing the video. Also, I have to pee really badly. Or I might could pick up the tutorial later and do some actual speedruns, I guess. I say we'd already have our bolt paper pop from the elevator. Pop repel about here. I like to go out kind of wide to the left a little bit more. Get up behind her. What the fuck? Get my stamina up. This is one of those parts I would, at the beginning of the first tutorial I mentioned like having your volume pretty high. This is actually one of the good parts of the run to have the volume up because you can kind of hear, like if you're facing away from her and she teleports behind you, you can actually hear it. So I could hear it to my right there. Okay, let it spit out a little bit, and then so after a slight delay after the mist is coming out, and dash twice. Stay behind her. You're gonna have to roll that. If she gets up on a wall, it's kind of awkward. You just have to make a big boy decision. When she's on a wall, like pretend I'm her. If she's on a wall like this, facing you, if you get off on this side, you can kind of react to a lot of things she does. But if like she decides to do a spin move on you or just lawnmowers instantly, like it gets really kind of scary. So if you want to play it a little safe, if she gets on a wall like this, I just kind of like sometimes if the category I'm playing, my time is shitty, I'll like move away and let her pull away from the wall a bit. But usually you want to kind of hug the left side and like just roll whatever she does to you and try and get behind her again. Because you can't really, you can kind of control her movements, but I mean, sometimes she's just going to do whatever she wants. She's going to get cross map teleported. She's going to spam nightmare phase twice sometimes, or do triple swipes like they're going out of style. I mean, she's just a bitch. Okay, so anyway, I was trying to explain more of the fight, but while she's dying, you have like 25-30 seconds to get ready for the next section. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. Like pretend she's still in the process of dying. We're gonna equip our cane if you have it, unequip our chest for the lecture hall skip, and then if you need to put anything on your bar, you can do that as well. So like if you wanted to pop your cord after Amygdala, which I don't do anymore, you can have that equipped. But we're gonna take that off. So yeah, I would say equip this and take off your chest just to make the skip easier. And then yeah, you have about 30 seconds to kill, and then you warp back to the dream. And that's about an hour for this one, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off. But thank you for watching, and next part we'll cover Amygdala, or lecture hall skip, Amygdala, the Yahar'gul segment with Upper Cathedral Ward Key and DSB and Parl and all that, Central Yarnum with the summons, Cleric Beast, and then maybe include Emissary and Debbie from Upper Cathedral Ward. So we'll see you next time.